Hello mga anak, welcome back to our video lesson for the week. I am again Miss B and we are going to be talking about a continuation of our lesson regarding measures of position. So una, I would just like to affirm you today. If you're watching this video right now, I want you to know that you are beautifully and fearfully made. You can find this in our Bible at Psalms 139 verse 14. And I also want you to know that you are amazing just the way you are. So whatever it is that you're struggling with right now, whatever imperfections you might hate about your body, you are perfect just the way you are. Okay? Okay. So now let's review about what we've learned so far in the past few weeks. We've talked about how to calculate measures of position. What are the measures of position? We have quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. And then we also found out about how to interpret these measures of position. So it's not just enough to find the numerical value of the measure of position. We also need to know how to interpret this measure of position. Okay? So, objective po natin for today is at the end of this lesson, you should be able to solve word problems involving measures of position, and you should also be able to interpret correctly the significance of the specific measure of position. Sabi ko nga, hindi enough na kaya lang nating i-calculate si quartile, si decile, at si percentile. Kailangan po alam natin kung ano ang kanyang significance doon sa ating situation or doon sa ating problem. Okay? This is in line with our most essential learning competency of the week, which is solves problems involving measures of position. Alright, so let's solve. Our first problem involves a Sudoku puzzle. So, the table in the next slide shows the time it took 50 students from 10 Sapphire to answer a Sudoku puzzle. Cassie's time marks the third quartile, while Mavi's time marks the 7th decile. I have here 3 questions that we are going to answer. Who finished faster? What is Cassie's time? And what is Mavi's time? So, syempre, alamin muna natin kung sino yung natapos ng nauna. So, kung titingnan natin yung kanilang mga measures of position, si Cassie daw ay nasa third quartile. Okay? Kung gagawin natin yung percentile, it's actually equal to the 75th percentile. Tama? At alam natin na si Mavi ay nasa 7th decile. And similarly, if we're going to change that to percentile, that's going to be 70th percentile. Now, syempre, kukompare natin, sino yung mas mataas yung percentile value? Okay? Or yung percentile rank. Ito na po, si Cassie. So, ibig pong sabihin, si Cassie ay mas mabilis. Okay? Because mas mataas yung kanyang percentile score or percentile value. Okay po? So now let's solve for Cassie's and Mavi's time. Now it's already in tabular form. However, we're still going to treat this as ungrouped data. So kung mapapansin yung mga anak, parang kakaiba yung arrangement. So instead of smallest to biggest, naging biggest to smallest siya. Bakit ganun? Special po kasi yung situation natin na to. Kasi we're talking about time. Okay? At kapag time ang usapan, di ba usually ang mga puzzles pabilisan? So the less time it takes for you to solve, the better. Di ba? So ibig sabihin, for the lack of any other term, itong 25 na to, yan yung tinatawag natin na worst time. Okay? O siya yung pinakamabagal na mag-solve dun sa kanilang sa 50. And then of course, yung 10 natin, ito yung best time. Okay? So, it's essentially still ranked from worst to best. Okay? So, parang yung sa scores, di ba, mas mababa yung score mo, mas mababa ang iyong grade. So, technically, that's the worst one. Okay? At, ang pag sa scores naman, kay mas mataas yung grade mo, ay mas mataas yung score mo, syempre, mas mataas yung grade. Alright? So, ngayon magsasolve po tayo. We're still going to treat this as a normal ungrouped data. So, calculate muna natin yung kay Cassie. Si Cassie po, alam natin siya ay nasa third quartile. So, gamitin natin yung third quartile score. Okay? So, we have 3/4 of the total, 50 plus 1. Kasi po, ungrouped data siya. So, magpa-plus 1 tayo. So, if we use our calculators, ang makukuha po natin dito, rounded off, ay 38th. Okay? So, hahanapin ngayon natin nasan yung 38th score. So, magsa-start po tayo dun sa worst score na sinasabi natin, which is 25. We're going to count until we reach the 38th score, which is 13. Okay? So, si Cassie, ang time ni Cassie, diba, ay 13 minutes. Alright? So, susunod naman ngayon, we have Mavi. Si Mavi po, alam natin na siya ay nasa 7th decile. So, gamitin natin yung 7th decile formula natin. That's 7/10 times 50 plus 1. So, if we're going to calculate this and round it off, ang makukuha po natin ay 36th. So, hanapin ngayon natin, nasa ng 36th score? Ang 36th score po ay nandito, si 14. Magba-backtrack lang tayo ng dalawa. So, 1 minuto lang naman pala yung difference nila. So, si Mavi, he solved the Sudoku puzzle in 14 minutes. Alright? So, let's move on to our next example. Now, not all problems need to be solved. Sometimes, kailangan lang pag-isipang mabuti. Katulad nitong example na ito. So, Tsuki is the 4th tallest learner in a group of 10. Hence, 6 learners are shorter than him. If Kyoko is the 8th tallest learner in a group of 10, how many % of learners are shorter than her? So, pag-isipan natin, si Tsuki, siya yung 4th tallest. Ibig sabihin, pang-apat sa pinakamatangkad. Kaya merong 6 na mas maliit sa kanya. Itong si Kyoko naman, siya yung 8th tallest. So, siya yung 8 mula dun sa pinakamatangkad. So, kung 10 sila, ilan na lang yung mas maliit sa kanya? Diba? 2 na lang? Okay? So, ibig sabihin yan, the % of learners that are shorter than her is 20%. Okay? Sabi ko nga, hindi kailangan i-calculate. Minsan, kailangan pag-isipan lang. Last September 2021, these were the recorded number of tested individuals in a certain district in Manila for 30 days. Okay, so isang distrito daw sa Manila, nung kasagsagan ng COVID, nung mataas pa yung cases natin, ito yung number of tested individuals, yung tinetest, hindi necessarily positive, pero ito yung tinetest nila every day for 30 days. So, hahanapin ngayon natin si third quartile at si third decile. Okay? So, first of course, hindi kasi tayo binigyan ng table. So, ang gagawin natin, gagawa tayo ng sarili nating frequency distribution table. Okay? So, we're going to arrange it from smallest to largest. Pero bago yan, hanapin po muna natin yung smallest value at largest value. Para saan po ito? Ito po ay para mahanap natin kung ano yung ideal na interval na gagamitin natin when we arrange it into grouped data. So, ang makikita po natin dito, ang highest value natin ay 47. Highest number of tested individuals yan. And then our lowest is 15. If we subtract this is 32. So, medyo malaki-laki yung range natin. Ibig sabihin, kailangan po yung interval natin ay medyo malaki din. Okay? So, ganong kalaki? Kung gagamitan natin ng 10, I think that's too much. So, I think the ideal interval for this is interval po ng 6. Okay? So, as you can see, ginawan ko na po siya ng table. Intervals of 6. So, as you can see also, ginawa ko po siya ng smallest to biggest. So, yung smallest po natin ay 15 to 20. Kung itatanong nyo man sa akin, ma'am, parang hindi naman 6 yan. Bilangin nyo kaya. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. O, diba? 6. Okay. So, yan po yung classes natin. 15 to 20, 21 to 26, 27 to 32, and so on and so forth. Now, Bakit in-include ko pa yung 50? Kasi kailangan buuin natin yung class, mga anak. Kailangan pantay-pantay sila ng bilang. Okay? So, ang mag-e-end po tayo sa class ng 45 to 50 kahit wala naman tayong 50. Although, yung highest number natin kanina, si 47, ay kabilang na rin dyan sa class na yan. Okay? So, ang fun part dito mga anak ay yung magbibilang kayo ng frequency. Okay? So, tingnan lang natin kasi nailagay ko na dito, no? Balikan lang natin. Ilan yung 15 to 20? So, you arrange your data from smallest to biggest so that it's easier to count. So, ilan po yung 15 to 20? Ito yan. So, bibilangin nyo lang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, kaya po siya naging 7. Okay? And then, 21 to 26. Ito po sila. Ilan yan? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, that's why it's 5. And so on and so forth. Okay? Now, how can you check if your frequencies are correct? Kailangan po ipag-a-add natin sila. Okay? So, if we're going to add 7 plus 5 plus 8 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3, if it is equal to our original n, which is 30, then tama po yung bilang natin sa frequencies. Kapag hindi, ibig sabihin, may mali tayong nagawa. Baka namali tayo ng bilang or baka kulang tayo ng bilang. Okay? Now, let us complete this table. We're going to add our lower boundaries and cumulative frequency. So, of course, paano natin hinahanap ang lower boundary? Kukuha po tayo ng smallest, tapos magma-minus 0.5 po tayo. So, that's 14.5. And then, after that, what you can do is you can keep doing that to each of the lowest score dun sa inyong class, or pwede pong you will keep adding your interval. Okay? So, in this case, plus 6, 20.5. So, kung i-check nyo, ang 21 minus 0.5 po ay 20.5 din. Okay? Tapos, yung cumulative frequency natin, magsisimula po tayo dito. Okay? Sa class with the lowest score. So, pag po tayo nagsimula dyan, start with 7. Ano nang gagawin natin? We will keep adding the next frequencies. So, 7 plus 5, that is 12. 12 plus 8, that is 20. And so on and so forth hanggang sa mabuo po natin ang ating frequency distribution table. So for your cumulative frequency, again, if you end up with your n, then you did it correctly. Okay? Let's move on. Mag-solve na po tayo. Hahanapin na natin si third quartile. Ito po yung formula natin. So first, hahanapin natin ang position. Okay? Which is 3/4 of 30. Ang 3/4 po ng 30 ay 0.75 of 30. That is 22.5. So, hanapin ngayon natin which class has 22.5. So, this class is only up until 20. So, ibig pong sabihin, yung susunod na class, malamang nandun na si 22.5. So, ito na nga siya. Okay? Kasi hanggang 24th score po ang nandyan. Alright? So, let's now use our formula. Our third quartile score is lower boundary, 32.5, plus position, 22.5, minus cumulative frequency before, that is before, hindi po below ha. So, yung mas maliit, 20, divided by the frequency itself, 4, times your interval of 6. Now, if we're going to calculate this, ang makukuha po nating sagot ay 32.5, 36.25. So, this is now our third quartile score. Now, when we are doing our interpretation, since we are talking about people, kailangan po tayong mag-round down. Okay? So, that means 75% of the days or of the month, kasi 1 month yan, pwede natin. Okay? In 75% of the days, there were 36 people or less that were tested. Okay? So, there are less than 36 people or less than na na-test tayo for COVID. Okay? 75% yan. Okay? Of our sample population. Okay? Or kung gusto nyo naman, pwede nyo gamitin yung reverse naman yan. Pag sinabi nating reverse, ito, yung 25%. Okay? Ilan yung na-test? In 25% of the days, more than 36 people were tested. So you can also include this in your interpretation. Alright? And then our last thing that we have to check is our D3 or our third decile. So again, position po muna tayo. 3 over 10 of 30. Okay? So ano po ang 3/10 ng 30? Diba? Kamusta naman? Nasaan kaya yung 9th? Okay? Ang 9th natin ay nandito po sa second class. Okay? Kasi yung first class natin hanggang 7th lang. Yung second class natin hanggang 12. So, that means yung pang 9 ay nandyan. So, gamitan na po natin lower boundary, 20.5 plus position, 9 minus cumulative frequency before divided by frequency of the class times 6. We will get 2/5 times 6 plus 20.5. 22.9. So, ito mga anak. Alam ko na ang instinct ninyo is magra-round up tayo. Kasi 22.9, malapit na siya sa 23. Pero dahil tao yung yung tao yung pinag-uusapan natin, kahit 0.9 yan, hindi pa rin yan buong tao. Okay? So, pwede tayong magkaroon ng dalawang interpretation for this. Kung gusto nyo talagang gamitin si 23, you could say that 30% of the days, okay, there were less than 23 people tested. Okay? So, as you can see, ang ginamit kong term ay less than 23 people tested. Okay? So, ngayon, kung ang gagamitin natin is yung rounded down option natin, ganito po yung magiging itsura ng ating interpretation. 30% of the days, in the 30% of the days, there were 22 people or less that were tested. Okay? So, I hope that you can see the difference. Okay? Ano lang naman yan? More on syntax. Pero, it's very important that you understand the difference. Dito sa isang interpretation na to, hindi kasama yung 23 kasi hindi naman siya talaga kasama. Kaya nga, less than 23 people. Pero in this case, since we rounded down, isasama po natin si 22. Kaya, there were 22 people or less that were tested. Alright? So, that's it, Pansit, for our lesson this afternoon. I really hope you guys understood our lesson. Kung meron man po kayong questions, as usual, put them at the comment section down below, or you can PM me if we're friends on Facebook. You can just PM me your question. Alright? So, I'll see you guys next time. Paalam!